So not saying anything's coming back. In fact, I've been kind of encouraging everyone to, eyes forward. Let's go forward now. But sometimes things do come back up. We've got a lot of things retrograde. The retrogrades don't actually make things come back up. It's just that sometimes we can think back on what happened, right? We have Judgment, Dark Night of the Soul. This is coming up as the underlying energy. Now, I always say this, Judgment happens in different stages. And looking at the rest of your reading, I think this is about this is not so much going through that Dark Night of the Soul. You've kind of gone through that, I feel, with this, especially with the Eight of Swords there. Because this is looking back, what have I been through? What have I done in that whole cycle? It's the penultimate card. There's only one card left in the cycle after this. That's the World. And that's the completion card. This is, Pluto energy, which is in your sign. And it talks about looking back and thinking, well, what did I do? Taking the lessons from it, but then drawing a line, making that judgment call, saying, I'm done with all of that. I'll take the lessons from this and I'm going to step forward into my future, facing your future without fear. That's where Judgment is. So it may be that that's where you are right now. Now, by doing that, it's kind of strange because we draw a line under the past. We make that judgment call and we go forward. And yet, if you have a look, these people, they're rising up from their graves, right? They're rising up from their graves. And yeah, they get a second chance at life, a brand new life, a second opportunity here. So something that you may have thought was over and done with, like it can be like a job, your ability to love, a relationship that you thought was on the rocks, that it was over. Now you kind of see there's a second chance here. This is rebirth, transformation, it changes. But I always say, even if it's an existing situation or a situation that comes back round again with Judgment, it is transformed. Always treat it like a new relationship. Always treat it like a brand new thing, even if it's your job and you thought you were going to lose your job. Now that you're back at it, that it hasn't been lost, you get a new life. You're a new you in that job. It is transformed. You are transformed. The phoenix rising up from the ashes, right? It's a big week of transformation for you, Capricorn, with this coming up here. But we have the Eight of Swords coming up at the heart of this reading. And the thing I get with the Eight of Swords, this is where we feel trapped. We feel trapped. We think, well, I can't do that. Or this is that inner saboteur, that little voice that tells us, you can't do this, you're not good enough. It's our fears and our doubts, right? And they make us feel like we're trapped. Sometimes with the Eight of Swords, to get past this, instead of making some massively, huge changes, it can talk about just small changes. Like, she could wriggle out of this. She doesn't have to kind of thrash about or anything if she's afraid to get cut by the swords. She could wriggle a little bit and she'd free those bindings around her, free herself from the bindings around her. But it's almost as if you're trying to talk yourself out. And I don't think it's trying is the right word, but there's this, your fears and your doubts are talking you out of, you can't have a second chance at this, or you can't do this. That's what this is saying. You can't do this. I almost get the sense that it's almost as if my good days are in the past, or the most glory I'll ever have has happened, or, as successful as I'll have be, it's happened. That's the energy that I'm getting from this. And with the Six of Cups there coming up as the advice. Now, a word about fears and doubts, and I've been saying this for a few of the signs because it's been coming up. Our fears, as much as they sound, they're a very important defense mechanism. They've helped us survive as a species. Can you imagine, our ancestors, when they heard something, if they didn't run, they could have got eaten by a wild animal, or, so it's served us. But it's kind of gone wild, I think, in the modern era, and it kind of stresses us out. We feel afraid of things that there's no need to be afraid of them. I always think of fear, or that little voice of fear inside of us. It's like an overbearing, an overprotective parent. That's what that fear is. Don't do that. Don't use that toy. Don't bump into this. Don't run, all of those things. And the parent's just trying to keep the child safe. That's all the parent's trying to do. And that's what your fear is trying to do. It comes from that place that feels vulnerable and is trying to say, look, don't get hurt. That's why it tells you all those things. It'll tell you anything it needs to tell you so you don't get hurt. But you're not in any danger. That's the thing. That is the thing. You're not actually in any danger. Even for her, even if she freed herself, there's huge gaps in the swords she could walk through. She's not going to get hurt. She doesn't have to get hurt by that. But she doesn't know that because she's blindfolded. And the reason I was saying all that stuff about, good days being in the past, or the recognition being in the past, or we have the Six of Wands coming up. So this, the Six of Wands, it's recognition, it's success. Um, it's the card of pride for me, because this person is very proud of what he's done. So he's gotten up on a horse, he has his wand, he has the victory wreath, and he's saying, hey, look at me, look at what I've achieved. I've been on my diplomatic mission, I'm that conquering, returning hero, look at me. And there's a parade for him. But it's the past or the foundation. It kind of feels though, with the Queen of Pentacles coming up in the present, which is where this leads, that I think for some of you, there's not a lot of excitement in your life at the moment. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But, you know, I don't like to stereotype any of the signs. You know, some signs get the reputation of they're crazy and they're like fun all the time. Well, some of them might actually want a bit of normality or peace in their life, right? Whereas other signs, we find different things exciting as people. We honestly do. And this is exciting. Can you imagine being recognized for what you've done, being proud of what you've done? But with the Queen of Pentacles, she's more of the kind of tinker away in the background kind of person. She gets the work done. You know, she makes everything look easy. Doesn't mean it's not hard work. It is hard work, but she does it. She's independent. She's confident. She's reliable. And everything that she amasses, everything that she creates, she does it for her loved ones. You know, she takes care of people. She's very Empress type energy, especially with the way she sits there with all this abundance around her. This is kind of a repeating theme for you guys, because we have Judgment here. And it's almost like the rebirth or the transformation. It's you. It's you that's changed. It's not so much about the practical. It's not so much about everything that you're achieving. And that might be where the sticking point is, you know, because say you want to start your own business because it's what you love to do, but you've got this 9-to-5 job that pays really well. Well, then it's going to be, well, you know, I can't do that. But that kind of the pride that you had, I mean, this is that mundane. It's become like the 9-to-5, day to day, whatever you're doing. If this is a work reading, if this is a relationship, you know, maybe it just feels like you're not seen anymore in that relationship, that both it's just become about you're the security, you're the stability, you know, you're the provider, whether that's you're the stay at home person or whether you're at, you know, a job bringing home the bacon. It's not about that. It's just, it feels like you're looking back and thinking, well, you know, things used to be kind of fun, or, you know, I was achieving something, or I had a sense of victory or pride in what I was doing. And you don't kind of have that. Yeah, you know, this is stable. This is secure. But when we're secure, when we're stable, we don't really grow. We know we're not inclined to grow that much. And I think you have an urge. You have an urge to kind of break out of this and to be more than just a stable person, to be more than just the practical one, to be more than just the one who brings home the money, right? Or takes care of the house. That's where Judgment comes in. That's where this massive transformation that's coming in. Now, what does that lead to? You know, what does it lead to? It leads to the King of Cups. The King of Cups, love him. He's, you know, very nurturing, very caring, very supportive energy. And this is where it kind of veers off in a few different directions for you guys. For some of you, it might be that, you know, you've just been working hard and that's been what you've been doing. Not to stereotype Capricorn, because a few of the other signs have gotten that kind of message too. But, and now it's about, well, I want to get into a heart space. This could be the ideal lover. The King of Cups is the ideal lover for me. It's our idea of who we want to be with, the ideal partner. The romantic, or, you know, the kind of sweet, the one who whispers sweet nothings to us. That's the King of Cups energy, whatever that indicates for you. But it's almost like, I don't know if I can do this. Now, for others of you, it's not who you want. That's not another person. It's general, right? So it can go both ways. This is about you. The King of Cups knows how he feels. The Queen of Pentacles, she will work away in the trenches. Like, she's a good soldier. You know, she gets everything done and she makes it look easy. The King of Cups, he's a king. So he knows how he feels. But he doesn't always express how he feels. That's the thing with the King of Cups. He can be cagey. He can be secretive. You know, still waters run very deep with him. Especially with the 8 of Swords sat above here. Is there something that you want to express, Capricorn? And it might be that that time's come. And you might still be in the process of figuring out what your heart wants. Because right now your thoughts are kind of stopping you, or, you know, giving you that back chat. No one can tell him what to do. He's a king. And have a look, the Queen of Cups, she holds on to a cup, but the King of Cups, he has it sat there and he ponders and he thinks and he's like, okay, well, how do I feel about this? And he knows how he feels, but he's thinking, when's the right time to say it? Now, if you're wanting to say something to someone, it's fine to express it when you're ready to express it. There's no judgment. And I do believe divine timing is our own timing. When we're ready to do something, we will do it. But always own it. Are you not saying something because your fears are telling you, don't say it, don't say it? Now, that might be, like I said, it can go in loads of different directions. This might be telling your people at work that, great, I know I'm the top salesperson or I do the best in that job, whatever, but I want more. It's not fulfilling me. I feel different. I want to go for something new. I want to do something, coming from my heart space. It could be saying that. Could be telling your partner that, look, can we go have a date night or can we go do something else? If you've just been working, it might be, okay, I know I'm trying to build a business, but maybe I need to take at least one day off a week and go spend it by myself or spend it with friends and family or reconnect with people. There's a very strong energy of a rebirth here, of a rebirth. It feels like you started off with a dream, and this is totally channeled that's coming through. You started off with a dream and you've done it. You've done great, guys. You've done great. Like she's the worker, man. I love her. If I was ever going to do anything, I'd take the Queen of Pentacles with me to get it, to achieve it. If that's the partner, if I had one choice for, any of the court cards, I'd pick her. And you've done it. But it's okay to want something different. It's okay to think, well, I've achieved that now. What else can I do? Look in a different area of your life. It's not so much about the practical stability and security now. And I feel like it's going back. You're going back to a dream that you had. Maybe you had to make a choice for two things and you picked one path. You've been successful at that. Now it's time you're going back and thinking, well, what was the other option? Whether that's a person, whether that's a job, whether that's a way of life, spending time with friends and family. This energy can play out in a number of different ways. Because the advice is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is nostalgia. It's looking back. There's a I always feel like there's a sense of a loss of innocence when the Six of Cups comes up. Because we're remembering a time when we were innocent. Or we were childlike. When we got such simple pleasure and joy from something. And we think back and we look back at it because it was a happy time, right? That was this. Sometimes we can overcome something so simple, like a simple task or obstacle or something that we're doing. And we take such pride in it. We think, wow, I did this so well. And then other times we could be bloody running a company or, be the CEO of something or just have that immaculate house, that relationship. But it becomes mundane and run of the mill. And it feels like there's something, some spice or something that you want here. And you're figuring it out. I mean, think about it. The only thing stopping you right now are your own thoughts, Capricorn. Look at the power, the colors around here and the power that's here. If you feel something, speak it. Now, the Six of Cups does say, don't think that, your best times are in the past, because they're not. Because Judgment says there's a rebirth, second chance here. You can have something. The Six of Cups is telling you, yes, though you had some happy memories, those were amazing memories from the past, you can have it again. Nothing in nature happens just once. If it happened once, why would it not happen again? It's the Six of Cups. In fact, use that past. Use this, whatever this glory was, whatever you were proud of in the past, use it to fuel, as the fuel in your engine now, to move forward and to manifest even happier memories for the future. Because it is possible. It is possible. Love makes a difference. Love can Love can help heal past hurts and provides a sense of security, self-worth, and importance. And see, that's that past thing that's coming up. Judgment, it's about healing the past as well. But how do we do that? Forgiveness. Forgiving ourselves usually, but sometimes forgiving other people. Now, people don't like to forgive. Every time I talk about judgment and forgiveness, somebody inevitably is going to comment and say, I can forgive myself, but I can't forgive the other person. What we do is when we cannot forgive, and I understand, forgiveness isn't something like, click my fingers, are forgiven. Forgiveness, it takes time. It's where we focus on our own healing, our own nurturing, right? Where we're not trapped by our fears and doubts. And then we can release ourselves. We can release ourselves from that past. Even if the past was difficult, the Six of Cups is we put our rose-tinted glasses on a little bit. It doesn't hurt us as much as it did. Ultimately, it is about freeing yourself so you can be reborn, you can be transformed. But so I'm getting that with this. This is both looking back, kind of past energy. For a lot of you, it might be that you're trying to heal that so you can move forward. So you can go for what your heart wants now. You know, you've done the kind of work here. She's the worker, right? You've done the work. Got serendipity. This is opportunities, good luck, fate, fortune. The opportunities that come up, we take them, we run with them, we use them. We can have all the opportunities in the world and they don't mean anything if we don't make any use of them. So this can be a stroke of luck. You know, that 4-leaf clover there. Did something happen that's causing you to think back? Because there's that kind of, especially with this card, an implication there. That maybe you found something new that you want to go for, something that calls to your heart. Or maybe you don't even want anything right now. You're kind of at this place and you're thinking, this is a bit boring. So you're looking back at old dreams that you might have had. All right, let's get your postcard from Spirit. It says, dearest you have a unique purpose and destiny that only you can fulfill. But first, you need to know that destiny isn't a destination. You don't arrive at some special place where, poof, you're perfect and happy all the time. It's about establishing and firming up a commitment to a certain experience, whatever form that takes. Your soul knows what you need to experience. Your destiny is to be present to all of life's adventures, to discover your talents and full potential through allowing inspiration to lead you, and to risk standing apart from the crowd to listen to your soul. You are special as much as you are also paradoxically one with the world, individual yet part of a great whole. Both truths have led you to this moment where we are saying you are on the right track, even if your ego self doesn't see that. Listen to your soul, check in with spirit, keep going. Spirit loves you, life loves you, we love you. And that is kind of, I see that with the King of Cups, is looking at how you feel. Because sometimes the Pentacles court cards, the King, Queen of Pentacles, they'll see the value of stuff, but at a very practical level. And, you know, sometimes, I don't know, somebody might give me a really expensive gift or something. And if it's kind of ugly or I don't like it, I mean, say someone gave me a sports car, I don't drive. It wouldn't mean anything to me. And in fact, it would be, doesn't this person know me? How do they not know I don't drive? Why are they giving me a Ferrari or something? So, you know, that's sometimes the value is more than the physical or practical. It's about the heart space value. And that kind of feels like where this is shifting this week.